Once upon a time, in a quiet suburban neighborhood, there lived a mysterious cat named Whiskers. Whiskers was no ordinary feline. He possessed a remarkable and extraordinary ability: he could read minds. While most cats spent their days chasing birds or napping in the sun, Whiskers used his unique gift to embark on thrilling adventures. One sunny morning, Whiskers awoke from a catnap with a peculiar feeling. He sensed a disturbance in the thoughts of the neighborhood's humans. His furry ears perked up as he heard fragments of their innermost desires and worries. It seemed that a wave of mysterious occurrences had gripped the town. Whiskers decided to investigate. He slipped out the door and padded silently through the streets, following the trail of thoughts that led him to the home of Sarah, a young girl who had been experiencing vivid dreams. Her dreams were so lifelike that they often left her feeling exhausted and bewildered. Whiskers approached Sarah's bedroom window, where he noticed her struggling with restless thoughts. He extended a paw, gently tapping the glass. Sarah gasped as she looked into the eyes of the mind-reading cat. Whiskers projected soothing thoughts, assuring her that he was there to help. Sarah cautiously opened the window, and to her amazement, Whiskers leaped gracefully into the room. With a purr and a reassuring glance, Whiskers delved into Sarah's thoughts, seeking the source of her troubling dreams. Through their unique connection, he unraveled a mysterious riddle that had been haunting her. Together, Sarah and Whiskers embarked on a fantastic journey into the dream world, where they encountered magical creatures and solved puzzles that led them to the heart of Sarah's fears. Through their courage and friendship, they banished the nightmares and ensured that Sarah's dreams would be peaceful once more. But the adventure didn't end there. Whiskers realized that he had a purpose beyond helping a single person. With his extraordinary gift, he vowed to make the world a better place, one mind at a time. Word of Whiskers' extraordinary abilities quickly spread, and people from far and wide sought his assistance. He helped a troubled artist overcome creative block, guided a lost hiker to safety in the wilderness, and comforted a lonely elderly man who had been longing for company. Whiskers' fame grew, but he remained humble and devoted to his mission. He roamed the town, listening to the thoughts of those in need, and he always found a way to make their lives better. His adventures continued, and the town began to flourish, not only because of Whiskers' abilities but also because of the kindness and empathy he inspired in its residents. One breezy afternoon, as Whiskers lounged on his favorite windowsill, he sensed a disturbing thought from Mrs. Henderson, the town's elderly historian. Her mind was in turmoil, and Whiskers could tell that something terrible had happened. Mrs. Henderson had discovered that the cherished historical artifacts she had been collecting for decades had mysteriously disappeared from her private museum. Without a moment's hesitation, Whiskers leaped into action. He rushed to Mrs. Henderson's home, where the distraught historian was frantically searching for clues. With a thoughtful gaze, Whiskers delved into her thoughts and discovered that she had been receiving cryptic notes hinting at the location of the missing treasures. Whiskers and Mrs. Henderson embarked on a quest to follow these puzzling clues, which led them to hidden tunnels beneath the town's cobblestone streets. They encountered secret chambers filled with ancient artifacts, deciphering riddles and outsmarting clever traps along the way. As they journeyed deeper into the labyrinth, Whiskers could hear the whispered thoughts of those who had hidden the treasures long ago. It seemed that a band of rogue archaeologists had stolen the artifacts, believing they held a secret power that could change the world. In a climactic showdown, Whiskers, with his mind-reading abilities, understood the rogue archaeologists' motivations and convinced them to return the stolen treasures to Mrs. Henderson. They realized that the real power lay in preserving history, not exploiting it. The artifacts were returned to their rightful place, and Mrs. Henderson's museum became more popular than ever, attracting visitors from around the world. Whiskers had not only solved the mystery but also safeguarded the town's history for future generations. One moonlit night, Whiskers sensed an unusual anxiety in the thoughts of the town's renowned artist, Victor. It appeared that Victor's masterpiece, a painting that had taken him years to complete, was about to be stolen. With his heart racing, Victor called Whiskers for help. Whiskers arrived at Victor's studio, where he found a cryptic message that hinted at the thief's plan. Using his mind-reading abilities, he pieced together the puzzle and realized that the thief was after a legendary gem rumored to be hidden within the painting. The gem was said to possess extraordinary powers. Together with Victor, Whiskers embarked on a daring adventure to foil the art heist. They followed the clues, which led them to an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. There, they confronted the cunning thief and his gang, who had a sinister plan to extract the gem from the artwork. With Victor's artistic talent and Whiskers' keen intellect, they outsmarted the thieves and protected the masterpiece, ensuring that the gem remained hidden within the painting, safe from those who sought to misuse its power. The stolen artwork of Victor became even more famous, and the towns celebrated their victory against art heists. Another time, the town's beloved gardener, Mrs. Greenfield, encountered a strange problem. Her once thriving garden had withered, and she couldn't figure out why. Whiskers, ever attuned to the thoughts of the townspeople, sensed her distress and came to the rescue. With his feline intuition, Whiskers realized that a mischievous group of garden fairies had become unhappy with humans and decided to withhold their magic, causing the garden to wilt. Whiskers, with his mind-reading abilities, decided to negotiate with the fairies. He ventured into the hidden realm of the garden fairies, where he listened to their thoughts and concerns. Whiskers, with his unique perspective, managed to convince the fairies that not all humans were destructive and that Mrs. Greenfield's garden was a sanctuary of beauty and life. The fairies, moved by Whiskers' words, decided to restore their magic to the garden. Mrs. Greenfield's garden flourished once more, with vibrant colors and lush greenery. The townspeople marveled at the enchanting transformation, and Mrs. Greenfield, knowing Whiskers' role in the garden's revival, thanked the mind-reading cat with tears of joy. With each mind he touched, Whiskers realized that the world was a vast tapestry of hopes, dreams, and fears, and he had a unique opportunity to make a difference. He had become the town's beloved hero, a legendary cat who could read minds and heal hearts. And so, in the quiet suburban neighborhood, the mind-reading cat Whiskers lived out his days, his adventures taking him to places even his extraordinary abilities could never have foreseen. With every thought he encountered, he proved that a little understanding and compassion could change the world, one mind at a time.